Hello, teacher and classmates. Today I'm with Ximena Baez, and we're gonna have some questions about how the ethics in kindergarten. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Ximena. I'm 24 years old. I'm a licensed early childhood education teacher, and I'm currently working for a classroom of 3-year-olds in my private school.
Okay. I would like to start to talk about pink and blue. How do you explore about that? Maybe at your class, you see how they have this perspective about the society, or maybe the parents explain about pink is for girls and blue is for boys. How do you explore about that?
I think definitely those traditional standards aren't as big, aren't as strong anymore as they used to be before in like olden ages. However, there is certain notions that children do bring to the classroom. We do have to understand, however, that all of these notions don't come from their little minds. It comes from what they listen to at home, what their parents say to them, or even what they see on television and on their phones. So while it's something that's still alive at some point, it's not as strong as it was before. Children in my classroom interact with every toy in a very curious and explorative way, and I think in most places you will see that children have this innocence about them, and they don't really make these differentiations between things until they grow a little bit older and they kind of are shaped by what society expects of them.
I understand about how the society pressure affects about that part. Maybe how the parents try to explain how they treat or how they normalize this attitude. But in your case, in your perspectives for a teacher, how do you manage? How do you explain about it? Because I would like to know, do you think that pressure of society affects how they view about the good or bad things, how they need to treat maybe a boy for the boy or girl for the girl, or makes it how do you think the ethics is different? How can you teach about it more about don't be the stereotypes of society? Because I know sometimes the stereotypes affects the ethics we have for a person, because we care a lot about the gender and we don't see they are human like everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I think when you're little, you don't expect to see how much of a reflection of the outside world comes into the classroom and into their playing, into their interaction with each other. Children come, as I said, very innocently, with a lot of curiosity, with a lot of motivation to interact with each other. However, there are certain things that come from home that we as teachers kind of have to reroute and kind of have to reteach, because a lot of children come and tell me, no, she's a girl, she's a little bit more fragile, or he's a boy, so we are stronger, I'm faster than you, things like that. The children don't really understand the deep meaning behind those words and how they can affect each other with those kind of phrases. But they come from home. It's not like any child, any baby is born with the idea of I'm a boy and I'm so much stronger than you, etc. However, I do think just as easy as they integrate those concepts into their everyday lives, they can learn how it's not necessarily appropriate to say it. So I think as long as we have a good moral compass in the classroom, it's really good to kind of guide them into the right direction. And not only the children, because children, yes, we work with them every day, but we work with the parents.
Okay.
So not only am I teaching children certain things, I have to talk to the parents about certain things. I have had opportunities to talk to them and tell them, hey, they are saying certain phrases that we don't really use at school because we don't want to make the differentiation between boy and girl or anything like that. And I think as long as we or anybody as parents have that open-minded idea to integrate those knowledges from somebody that has studied and that has kind of a better understanding of how children interact with each other, that's really a super important part of it.
As I told you before, and continuing with that idea, and to close this interview, I would like to know if you have the position to talk to the parents and to talk to people who care children, what would you recommend in base of everything we talk about it? What would you recommend to them to teach about ethics?
Well, definitely, as I've mentioned before, the importance of thinking of ourselves and of our children as community, and how our actions not only affect us but affect everybody else, and how it is so important for us to have empathy, to think outside our own bubble, and to teach our children as part of future generations that will shape this world. So yeah, not only looking at the present but looking at the future as a more community center world.
Okay. Thank you very much, Amanda, for your answers. Thank you very much for your time. That will be all for today.
Thank you so much.